Hello YouTube, this is Rowan here, and I've been feeling a bit down because all of the top 5 what the fucks I've been doing over at Play the Game Central were kind of feeling a bit negative towards Borderlands 2, and of course I don't dislike Borderlands 2, I love it, but it's always important to highlight the flaws of a game, and you can't deny that the top 5s are getting pretty good views. I mean, top 5 guns is my most viewed video on YouTube by about twice as much as some of the zombie origin stuff I did back in the day, so there's no doubt they're going very well, but I decided to make something a bit more positive for my own channel, so I'm going to be doing my top 5 favourite guns in Borderlands 2. The reason this is going on my own channel and not Play the Game Central is because this is completely opinionated, and my favourite guns, none of them are actually good guns. One of them is just about acceptable and maybe another one, but for the most part these guns are absolute crap, okay? I don't know why I love these guns so much, so that's why it's not going up on Play the Game Central, because people will think I've gone insane. People might think I've gone insane on this video, but it's only going to be a few hundred, so it's okay. Number 5. The Butcher. This one, I'm not really sure why I like it that much, because my other favourite shotguns, such as the Quads and the Torg Ravagers, they all have a lot of firepower in one shot, which makes you savour that shot a lot. And I tend to dislike other Hyperion shotguns because it just feels like a bit of a weak stream rather than a big bang, and it just doesn't feel as good. So why my favourite one is the Butcher, which is arguably the weakest shotgun per shot in the game, I don't really know. I guess it's because it does have a Torg barrel, which is normally associated with high pellet count but huge ammunition consumption, but somehow when it's slapped on the Butcher, it has the lowest ammo consumption of all shotguns in the game and the lowest pellet count, well, apart from the Orphan Maker, but the lowest reasonable pellet count in the game. And that kind of sums up the whole Borderlands theme, doesn't it, where you take something that you expect to do one thing and then you turn it completely on its head, and it's still just as good, it's just good in a different way. And the Butcher, I just find it a really fun shotgun to use, especially on Krieg with his blood-filled guns, and you can get all of your shotgun ammunition in one magazine and it just keeps going up and down, and you can just shoot wildly and see the ammo bar go down and then up and then down and then up, and it's just a never-ending stream of lead, and I don't know, it's just a really fun shotgun to use. And the red, pink and the white stripe, it's not a bad skin either. Number 4. The Unforgiven. This is the most recent weapon This was the most recent weapon I added to my top 5 favourites list, and it's probably going to be the most confusing because, if you remember, it was in the top 5 worst weapons in Borderlands 2. And that's because the Unforgiven, it's a really bad weapon, there's no reason to use it. But, I don't know, there's something about its design, there's something about the whole hand cannon aspect that I really like. It's one of those guns that, it's bad, but if you use it, you just feel rewarded for your own skill. It's kind of like a flattering gun, because it doesn't do a lot of good damage, but it's got this massive critical, not as massive as the Lady Fist, but it still does a lot of damage for a good headshot, and the reduced fire rate makes you savour every headshot that you make. It's a gun that takes skill to use correctly. It's just a shame that it doesn't actually give you a good payoff for using it correctly, but if you get one that's a bit over leveled so it's capable of pulling off a one shot on the head and not on the body, it just feels really satisfying to use, and you feel good about yourself with every enemy you've exploded by aiming for their skull. Its skin is pretty lazy alongside most of the other pearlescents, but I don't know, there's just something satisfying about using the Unforgiven. I can't put my finger on it, but I just really like using it. Number 3. The Florentine. Aside from the Butcher, this is probably the other only sensible choice on this list, because on the face of it, the Florentine is a very competent submachine gun. It has the Culline's gimmick of being able to deal slag and shock at the same time, but you don't have to continuously slag yourself in the process, which means that you can just have a lot of fun slagging and shocking all the enemies. Most characters, it's mostly used as a sort of warm-up weapon where you fire at them, you slag them, you strip their shields, and then you move on to a more powerful weapon to finish them off. But that's not the case with Gage the Necromancer. Because of her brilliant middle skill tree, the Florentine is just... it's such a fun gun to use with her because you slag, which makes the damage excellent in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, you shock, which is going to do a ton of damage because it's Gage, but then because of her electrical burn skill, you will also set them on fire, so you're just dealing pretty much every element in the game all at the same time, and it's just so fun to use because it's a submachine gun, so you can actually get some good firepower out of it, so you don't have to keep switching to something else. And you can just sit back, hold down the trigger, maybe let close enough do the work if you're feeling a bit lazy that day, and watch enemies get covered in industrial waste, electrocuted, and then set alight. It's a pity it doesn't do corrosive as well because that would be the hat trick, but ah well, you can't have everything. Also the Florentine, it looks pretty sexy, the whole silver and black thing of it. It's not as good as a normal Malawan plasma caster because those are just so lovely and colourful, but it's definitely got a style to its own and it definitely fits in. So Florentine, a very fun gun to use just because of all that elemental damage. Number 2, the Little Evie. I really have a hard time explaining. I'm not exactly sure why I'm such a big fan of the Little Evie. I don't even get the reference to it, the whole Bioshock thing. I mean, I know it's a Bioshock Easter egg of some kind, but I don't get it. Never played Bioshock. But the Little Evie, it's just a really nice gun to use. First of all, the looks of it, I think it's a pretty fine looking gun. The cyan and pink goes really well together, and the whole glowing blue, because it's a shock weapon, it complements the whole look very nicely. Then there's the fixed flat off barrel, which is, I think it looked really nice on the Malawan pistols. Normally when you mix and match different manufacturer parts, it looks a bit ugly, but I think the flat off barrel fits very nicely onto the whole thing. Also because of the flat off barrel, the Little Evie has quite a lot of punch to pack. Its fire rate is very nice, so you can get lots of shots off very quickly, and it's not an exceptional pistol. The special effect of helping to reduce cooldown is not that often seen because most characters have their cooldowns pretty much minimized already when you're in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode with all the skills, but I don't know, the Little Evie, it's just like a fun little pistol to use and I really like it. Number 1, the Hammerbuster. If I couldn't explain the Little Evie, I'm sure as hell not going to be able to explain this. I have no idea why I find the Hammerbuster so damn sexy. I just don't know. I mean, it looks really fine, the whole kind of like, I'm not even sure how to describe the sort of colour of it. It's kind of like that kind of like diesel tint on wood. I don't know how to describe it, but you can see the gun itself, and I just think it just looks like a really fine weapon. Yes, and it's an assault rifle, and yes, it's a Jacob's assault rifle, so it's going to be really bad damage wise, and also the Hammerbuster, apart from the Madhouse, is quantitatively the worst legendary gun because aside from a damage boost, it has nothing different about it from other Jacob's assault rifles. It's not really spectacular in any way, and it's outperformed even by a run-of-the-mill Jacob's Gatling gun, and I don't know, there's no real reason to like the Hammerbuster, but I do. Maybe it's the Dahl barrel, because the Hammerbuster is one of 3 legendaries not to have a matching manufacturer barrel. The other 2, the Striker and Sledge's shotgun, they have different barrels for quantitative reasons. The Striker had to be a single fire weapon and the Sledge's shotgun had to be a double firing, so they were forced to have the barrels that they do. But the Hammerbuster, it didn't need to have the Dahl barrel, so I like to think someone at Gearbox looked at the Dahl barrel on a Jacob's assault rifle and went, Damn, that looks good. I'm gonna make the legendary assault rifle that. I'm not sure who that person is or even if they exist, but if they do, I salute you, because the Hammerbuster is a fine looking weapon. Also, I guess aside from its looks, the satisfaction of firing each shot yourself rather than just mindlessly holding down the trigger has some appeal, but that's definitely not unique to the Hammerbuster. I guess it's just the collection of looks and satisfying single fire. I don't know. There's absolutely no reason to like it, but love doesn't always make sense. And I love the Hammerbuster. So this has been Rowan, obviously, with my top 5 favourite weapons in Borderlands 2. None of them make sense, and none of them make sense, and that's okay, because in a game with billions of weapons, if you just loved the most powerful ones, that would defy the point. So it's good to have your own preferences, even if they don't make logical sense, because otherwise, what's the point? So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. If you want to, leave your own personal top 5 guns in the list below, because I'd like to see what other people have. And goodbye. Money shots for pussies. Real men king grit.